And I will get started. This is People of the State of Michigan versus Draganchuk Thompson, docket number 20-930FH. And I'm told that this will be a plea to count one this morning. And Mr. Thompson, would you raise your right hand, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Thompson, you have the right to be represented by an attorney. You are represented by Mr. Feigelson, who's present. And again, I'm told this is a plea to count one. And if that's correct, Mr. Feigelson, will you waive reading of counts 2 and 5?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Ms. Allen, would you read count one, please?
In the People of the State of Michigan versus Draganchuk Thompson, file 20-930-FH, State of Michigan, County of Ingham. In the name of the people of the State of Michigan, the prosecuting attorney for this county appears before the court and informs the court that on or about December 11th, 2020, at southbound Martin Luther King, the defendant did in count one commit the offense of carrying a concealed weapon, that he did carry a dangerous weapon, to wit, a pistol, whether concealed or otherwise in a vehicle operated or occupied by said defendant, to wit, a Dodge Caliber, contrary to Michigan law. This is a felony punishable by up to 5 years in prison or $2,500 mandatory forfeiture of weapon or device, and was committed against the peace and dignity of the state of Michigan.
Mr. Thompson, you're being charged here with what's known as carrying a pistol in an automobile. That is a felony punishable by up to 5 years in prison. And if you were on parole at the time the offense was committed, it would be a mandatory consecutive sentence. Have you had enough time to talk about this charge with your attorney?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you understand the charge against you?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you have any questions about what we're doing?
No, Your Honor.
And how do you want to plead?
Guilty, Your Honor.
Mr. Thompson, if your plea of guilty is accepted by this court, it means you won't have a trial of any kind, and you'll be giving up the rights that go along with a trial. I'm going to go through those with you. You'll be giving up the right to a trial by jury, or if you didn't want trial by jury, trial by judge. Also, the right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty, and to require the prosecutor to prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You'll give up the right to have the witnesses against you appear at the trial and to be able to cross-examine them, as well as the right to have this court order any witnesses that you might have to appear at the trial. Also, you'll give up your right to remain silent at the trial and not to have your silence used against you, or if you wanted to testify at the trial. Also, some things about appealing are different when you plead guilty. One is you don't get an automatic right to appeal to the higher court. Instead, you have to ask them to hear your case, and they have to agree to hear it. And then the other thing is that many issues cannot be appealed after a guilty plea the way they could be if you went to trial and got convicted. Do you understand those rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
Also, if I accept your plea, Mr. Thompson, it means you can't come back later on and try to say that the plea was the result of some promise or threat that no one told me about today. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
You also cannot come back later on and try to say that it really wasn't your own choice to plead guilty today. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
And is there a plea agreement, Ms. Allen?
There is, Your Honor. In exchange for the defendant's successful plea and sentence to count one, the people agreed to dismiss count 2 and count 5. And for the record, count 3 and count 4 were both dismissed at the preliminary examination. There's also a sentence agreement pursuant to People versus Killebrew that the defendant received no further upfront jail at the time of sentencing. It's my understanding he's currently serving a sentence on a misdemeanor, and that's why he's in the jail, but we agree he won't serve any further upfront jail on this case. Thank you.
Okay, I understand. Is that a full and complete statement, Mr. Feigelson?
It is, Your Honor. The only difference is it was a probation violation at a misdemeanor versus a misdemeanor sentence.
Okay. And do you know his out date on that?
February 13th. Oh, my bad. Sorry.
February 13 works. I was going to take a stab, and that was about where I was going to swim with it, but I think he's probably correct. He said February 13th.
I'm sorry. February 13, you said?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay, and so Mr. Thompson, is all of that your understanding of this agreement as well?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you agree with it?
Yes.
Now, as you heard, there's this agreement about your sentence, and that is that you would receive no further upfront jail as of the date of sentencing. If for some reason I decided not to go along with that, I would tell you before I sentenced you, and I'd give you a chance, if you wanted to take back this plea and start all over. You got that?
Yes, Your Honor.
And has anyone promised you anything else that hasn't not been said here right now in order to get you to plead guilty?
No, Your Honor.
Has anyone used any threats?
No, Your Honor.
Is this your own choice?
Yes, Your Honor.
And are you pleading guilty because you believe you are in fact guilty of this offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, then we're talking about, again, count 1, which is the pistol in the automobile. Tell me what you did on or about December 11, 2020.
I got pulled over, and the day that when I had got pulled over, I had told the state police that I had a pistol in my glove compartment.
Okay, and you did in fact have a pistol in your glove compartment?
Yes, Your Honor.
And had you put it there?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you didn't have any lawful authority to carry a pistol in your automobile, correct?
No, Your Honor.
And did you have this pistol knowingly in your automobile in the area of southbound Martin Luther King in Lansing, Ingham County?
Yes, Your Honor.
Has the court complied with MCR 6.302, Ms. Allen?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Feigelson?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you aware of any promises, threats, or inducements other than those already placed on the record, Ms. Allen?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Feigelson?
No, Your Honor.
The court finds the plea is understandingly and voluntarily made without undue influence, threats, or promises of leniency. It is an accurate plea. It's supported by the testimony. The plea is accepted. I have a sentencing date of March 8th at 2 o'clock. That's a Monday, March 8th at 2 o'clock.
I believe that works for my schedule, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Thompson, are you okay with us doing the sentencing remotely, just like we did this plea, instead of doing it in person?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, very good, thank you. Then that'll be on March 8th at 2 o'clock, and we'll zoom in again, and you should just know that there'll be someone contacting you, Mr. Thompson, from the probation department, so they can interview you, and that's really important because it's for the report that I'll use for sentencing. Okay, do you have any questions, Mr. Thompson, before we go?
No, Your Honor.
Okay.
I mean, do that mean that I still get out on the 13th, or I gotta wait till the 8th?
Well, it seems to me you wait to the 8th because my record shows that you did not post bond on this case.
Yeah, because I didn't want to post bond and then you guys revoke it. So that's why I didn't post bond.
Okay, well, as I understand it, I mean, I haven't heard any of the attorneys tell me that I have to keep you in until the sentencing date. So I guess my answer is that if you posted bond, you could get out after you're done doing your district court PV.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. You can tell them they're at the jail then that you're all set.
Mr.
Okay, thank
Thompson, if you're able to post, just let our office know so that we can coordinate with the court to help get you set up not only for sentencing, but to go over everything else.
Okay,
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, because you'll need to probably maybe go to your attorney's office for the sentencing or otherwise, but yeah, you'll need to make different arrangements, okay? You're all set.
Okay,